Hi, welcome to episode 22 of the Owl About Yarn podcast. I'm Jenny, otherwise known everywhere on the internet as Owl About Yarn, and I will be talking to you mostly today about the Yarningham festival. As you can see, here is my car. It's full of stock, and I'm in the very smug position of being ready a whole half hour early. Now, if you ask my husband, he will tell you this never happens. So I'm really proud of myself, and I thought, do you know what? I'll start recording the podcast while I'm sitting waiting to leave the house, because I can't leave for another half an hour. So here I am. I'm packed up, I've got my sandwiches done, I've got my wool packed, I've got everything sorted out, so I'm ready to go. So I haven't talked to you for a good while, but I've just been plodding along, carrying on with the business and trying to get out and about. Haven't been that well. I've had a bit of a down couple of months, but this is supposed to be a happy place and upbeat and everything, so we're not going to talk about that very much. But I just wanted to say hi before I get on the road. So as I say, in half an hour I'll be off. I'm going to go and pick Zoe up, and some of you will know her from the Pins and Needles podcast, and if you haven't watched it then you really should. Hopefully we'll get a chance at some point over the weekend to record a bit together. Because I'm sitting on the back of my car and the traffic suddenly got heavy, there might be a lot of background noise, so I hope that you can hear me. But we'll play it by ear. Anyway, I'm hoping to record a bit more over the weekend, and hopefully I'll have a chance to show you around the brand new Yarningham festival. I hope that I see some of you there. So I'll talk to you later. Bye! So welcome to my stall at Yarningham. I'll be out of the way in a minute and you can see all the things I brought. There we go. So I brought fibre and yarn and stitch markers and lots of different things. Opposite us was Ling at Whimsy, and that was nice to have such lovely things to look at. And then to our right, as we were sitting down looking out, was Fig Tree Yarns with her selection of American yarns. To our left was Beyond Measure with the lovely Grace, who was really lovely to chat to. And a view over the whole hall, so you see it wasn't a big festival, but it was very well attended. And the Toft stall with all their lovely toys. I'm looking forward to going tomorrow, and look! I am getting this pattern, possibly the kit, haven't decided yet. Sylvie at Phileas Yarns was very close to our stall as well, and we had nice chats with her and her beautiful semi-solids. This is Fee and Liz from Yarn Angels, a local Birmingham firm. They were really lovely too. Everybody was just so nice. Now Little Boo Yarns, her yarn was calling me, and I couldn't resist. Textile Gardens had the usual lovely selection of buttons, and there was just too many to choose from for me. The local guild was doing spinning and weaving demonstrations for the whole weekend. And we met Zena from the Little Yellow Uke podcast. She came and said hello. It was lovely to say hello in person when you've only ever chatted online. And what yarn festival is complete without cake? There was lots of cake. This is just one of them. Tanya and Derek from the Knitting Swede were another pair of really friendly people. And then at the end of a very long day, what else do you do but pose in an alpaca selfie station? So there's me and my glamorous assistant. So that was Yarningham. And here we are now in my garden. It was just such a lovely day, and we haven't had so many of them recently. So I thought I'd bring you out here. I hope the background noise isn't too bad. It's quite a breezy day, so there's lots of noise from the trees blowing all around me. I can also hear traffic, a dog, there's a small child that way somewhere, a couple of gardens over. My small child is in there and I haven't told her that I'm out here, so we might get some peace. I've also heard a couple of trains. What can I say? It's the price of city living, isn't it? If I had my way, I'd have quite a few acres in the middle of nowhere. There's the small child. I'd have quite a few acres in the middle of nowhere and my house would be quite a long way from the nearest road, which wouldn't be used very much, and it'd just be really peaceful. But that would take a significant artery win, so I don't think we're going to get there. Anyway, getting back on subject. So you've seen all my Yarningham pictures. It was much busier actually than I expected it would be. And so I didn't do any filming while I was there, obviously, or you'd be watching that now rather than this. That and the heat, oh my day. If you've watched Zoe's podcast, she's recorded her Pins and Needles podcast since we got back. She talked about the heat. It was just, let's just accept the wind is going to do stupid things to my hair. It was so hot. It used to be a swimming baths, the place that they held it, and the apex of the roof was glass, and it had been aligned when the building was built so that the sun tracked along the apex of the roof all day. So when we got there, and I didn't really think this through, I didn't notice this because I'm not always as clever as I should be. When we got there and we'd set up and we realised we were in full sunlight, well, we realised when we got there, you know, and then we kept on being in full sunlight all day. And then it suddenly occurred to me, oh my days, that's, or somebody might have told me even, but yeah, that's how this place had been built, to capture the full amount of sunshine into the swimming baths, which is perfect if it's at swimming baths, but when it's an unair conditioned hall hovering around the hottest days of the year, it's not so fun. So but that was the only downside actually. Although it was considerable, I know a couple of the storeholders did feel a bit ill, but this is the first year that Sturchley Baths has been reopened since the refurb, so hopefully they'll sort of take notice of what's happened this summer, because I'm sure it wasn't just us that was going to have been affected by this, there'll have been other events as well. And even if they just put in some blinds, I'm not sure if it'd probably take too much to make the windows open, but maybe some sort of air, just air. We said we definitely needed more fans next year. I ended up making cardboard fans for people. I had a pack of cardboard to make into signs in case I'd forgotten signage. I ended up folding them into little concertina fans for the people that were nearest to us that were really suffering with the heat. So yeah, we're just all there madly flapping away with our fans. Oh, I could have used some of this breeze that we've got now. And then we just kept taking it in turns to go off and sit outside for 10 minutes. And I had a stinking cold that week as well. So you can probably hear it in the bit that I recorded at the beginning. I was still really bunged up. It fully hit on the Saturday. I think that was probably the worst day head-wise. So I just wasn't all there at all. And yeah, thank God for Zoe. Zoe is my hero. She's got me through 2 yarn festivals now, and still seems to be keen to come to more. I mean, what more can you ask from a friend, really? Yeah. So, also she says lots of lovely things about me on her podcast. Thank you ever so much for all your kind comments, Zoe, on the last podcast, and on about the handspun yarn that I gave you. It was just such a small thing for everything that you did for me, in taking me there, in keeping me sane, making sure that I didn't pass out from heat exhaustion. So you're brilliant. Brilliant. Anyway, moving on. Now, so because I'm outside, we have a new setup today. I've taken a picture, which I might be putting on Instagram in a bit, just to say, yay, I'm actually recording a podcast. Do you remember what my voice sounds like? Because it has been that long. So sorry about that. Say it every time, don't I? Yes, so the setup is different. Obviously, we're outside in my delightful wilderness garden. Let's call it a wilderness garden. which is why you are looking at my daughter's playhouse, because that's the tidiest bit of the garden. One day I'll have time to garden, but it'll probably be when I have no children at home, and I don't really want that to come too quickly, so let's just move along. Or, maybe one day I'll be able to afford to pay somebody to keep my garden tidy. That would be even better. Let's go with that one. So I have lots to tell you today. I have a big pile of stuff to this side here to show you, and it's not going to be quite so smooth as usual because I'm in my garden and the stuff is all balanced on a chair. Some of it's already fallen off the chair. I have my show notes. This is the book that I use for my show notes, and it comes with a pencil, you see. My friend Heidi gave me this book, and I thought with owls on it has to be used for something business related. So I've got my show notes, but they're going to be down here, so I'm going to be looking down, I'm afraid, every now and again. Also, my oldest son has gone to town. It's sort of on his own-ish for the first time. I don't remember him going into town on the bus on his own before. He went with a girlfriend last year, or the year before, but that he was going with somebody then. He's gone on his own to meet some friends to go to the cinema. So I'm keeping my phone. It's on vibrate, so I'll only look at it if it's a message from Jack. But, you know, anxious mother, I've just got to be available. And if Erin knows we're out here, she'll come running. So you might get to see her or you might not, because I know she was watching CBeebies, which usually can keep her occupied for hours, and she'd only been watching it 5 minutes when I came out, so we might be alright. So first off, I wanted to show you what I bought. Now, I showed you a picture of Little Bee Yarns' stall, and I told you I didn't resist. There were two yarns. Well, there was one yarn that was calling to me. It was looking at me all weekend, and I gave in the end. I waited till Sunday, and then I went and I got two. So, but they're complimentary, and it's, the way I look at it is, I don't often buy souvenirs when I go places. My souvenirs are yarn. So this is one of my souvenirs. I may have a couple more. This is one of my souvenirs from my trip to Yarningham. Look at these! Ah! They're gorgeous. Look at that. And oh, you can see the sparkle. Oh, I knew coming outside was a good idea. So these are both from Little Boo Yarns, who is on Etsy, I believe. She's definitely got a website. I'm sure it's an Etsy website. And this colourway is Anna, and it is Superwash Merino Nylon Sparkle, and I know the base because I use it too. It's a good base. Sock weight. And then this one is called Sky High. And doesn't it go well? Because look, you've got the turquoise in there and it's the same turquoise. So this is going to be my semi-solid complementary colour to this one, and they sort of match my nails, which are getting a bit ragged because they were done a couple of weeks ago, but we won't go into that. So anyway, happy days. These are going to become a Duchess of Devonshire shawl, which is one of Kay Jones's patterns, who is Kay of the Bakery Bears podcast. Just around about before I went on holiday, she had a 25% off day. There was a reason, I don't remember the reason, but I bought the Duchess of Devonshire shawl anyway, because I've been eyeing it up for a while. So once I finish what I'm currently working on, I will be casting on that with these, and it's going to be for me, and it's going to be lovely. So that's my first stash. Then I had promised myself that I would treat myself to a skein of yarn from Mothie and the Squid, and I wanted it to be self-striping, and I wanted it to be rainbows, and it's going to be a pair of socks. Here it is. Look at that. So that is on merino nylon base, and it's called Rainbow Bright, and it's a 20-metre repeat, so there should be nice generous sized stripes. Now I'm not sure yet if I'll be knitting a vanilla pattern to get the full benefit of the stripes, or whether I'll do something along the lines of Jaywalkers, or maybe monkey socks, I don't know, so that you get the stripe but it's just a little bit. If I do Jaywalkers though, I'm going to do them slightly bigger than the last ones I did, because while they fit, they're quite tight to get on, which is a bit of an issue. So mothyanthesquid.com, I believe, mothyanthesquid.com. She also has an Etsy shop, I think it's sort of linked through her website now. So that was number 3. I've actually forgotten about one of these. That's not good, is it? Okay, it's all good, it's all fine. Yarn Angels, who, there was a picture of them, Fee and Liz. Look at these colours, I couldn't resist. They actually, there is turquoise in there, which goes as well with this. So if I had any of this one left, I could pair it with this to do something. I don't have plans for this yet, but purple and bluey turquoise, they're my colours. So it was just calling to me. And this one is 100% superwash merino, so it'll be a shawl or a cowl or something, and it's called Sea Nymph. They're also on Etsy, so go and have a look at them. This weekend they're having a sale, and I can't remember what the code is. I'll try and look it up and I'll put it down here, because Lizzie just got engaged. Yay, congratulations! So excited, I love hearing news like that. So they're having a discount sale this weekend. So if you watch it in time for that, and I'm going to really bust my ass and try and get this podcast up today, you might be able to benefit from the sale. But I'll put the details here. I noticed it on Twitter earlier. Finally, and I had forgotten there was a 5th, I thought I bought 4, but I'd forgotten about the Yarn Angels skein. I bought this from Jo Knits Sew. Can you see? The colours are brighter than it's coming out. Can I? That's a bit better. Look at that, purples and greens and grey. And this is merino, yak and nylon. I've never knitted yak. How could I say no? How could I say no? And it's a sock weight again. They're all sock weight. I always buy fingering weight, don't I? Let's face it. But it's just, oh, the feel of it. It's lovely. Now this will either be some very luxurious socks for me, or sort of autumn accessories, because they're my toning down summer colours with the purple and oh, it got it. The purple and the green, the grey. Yeah, they're my toning down winter colours, autumn colours. So I did very well at Yarningham. I did spoil myself. And then I don't seem to remember that I bought very much at Wonderwall, so I was totally allowed. And I love indie dyed yarn, that's why I make it. So when I come across other indie dyers who I haven't come across before, you've got to support people, haven't you? So that was my stash from Yarningham. Oh, sorry, kicking. I've got the tablet resting on a stepladder. It's all the highest tech equipment I'm using for you today. And I just kicked the bottom of it, that's why it wobbled, so terribly sorry about that. Next, I am going to talk about my whips. And I have 3. One of them doesn't really count, because I can't remember if I've cast on the second sock, but it's not a finished pair of socks, so it's totally a whip. And it's my Butterbloomchen socks. And you can see the flower pattern going up the front there. And this is a pattern by Krista Hartman, and it's free on Ravelry, and this is using my Turtle Pearl yarn, which I got in a fibre share swap earlier in the year or last year, but gorgeous colours, and it feels so beautiful. I think It's a merino, but I couldn't find the yarn label when I was getting ready to podcast, so I'll tell you when I've got my finished objects and it's all finished, because I'll have found it by then. So that's the first one. The second one, which is sort of the bane of my life and should have been done a long time ago, my Fruit Loop socks, which is another free pattern I found via Ravelry, but it's on knitty.com by Christy Galacci. And look, I've got my owl stitch marker from oh, turn around, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Look, my custom made owl stitch markers from AnneTudor.com. She had some owls. Have I told you this before already? She had some owls and they were normal owl colours like browns and such like. And I was watching her on a Periscope broadcast and I said, is there any chance that you'd be able to do purple owls? So she picked up the gauntlet that I'd flung at her feet and made me a set of 5 little purple owls. They are just perfect. So 1 is a progress keeper, 2 are stitch markers and 2 are earrings, and they're my festival earrings that I wear when I'm exhibiting. They're my good luck earrings. So yeah, no, socks on 2mm higher sharps using Misty Alpaca yarn. These are the Fruit Loop socks, and if I put my hand in you might be able to see the pattern. It's probably not the best choice of yarn, to be honest, for a pattern, but yeah, you can just about see, look, with the, it's supposed to be like little rounds, like Fruit Loops, going all the way up. I quite like them. They're going to be cosy with all the alpaca in it, and this is the second sock, and I've done that much of the foot, so I really haven't got very far left to go before I've got a finished pair. The other one, can I just slip that off the blocker? My high-tech blocker. I don't know, I keep looking over there again for the camera. Sorry. It doesn't look as if I'm paying any proper attention at all, does it? Yeah, my super high-tech homemade sock blockers. Oh, I have good news about sock blockers as well. And I wish I could remember the name of the lady. But I'll remember after Geeky Puff and Knit Palooza, so that's all good. That's my finished one. Again, the colours are brighter. That's a bit better. Colours, they're lovely colours. My usual jewel tones and things that I like. So that's my first finished one. And again, they're for me. Lots of selfish sock knitting going on at the moment. And yeah, I've got less than half a foot left to knit, and if I cracked on and did it, I'd probably finish it in an evening. But for some reason, something in my brain is telling me, no, you don't want to knit that. And every time I pick it up, my hands start aching. I just need to get them finished. It's just ridiculous. Then, my other work in progress, complete with emergency fruit pastels in case I get sugar deprived while I'm knitting, of course, is paired with one of my stash acquisitions. So this is on Knit Picks Felici. I think the colourway is something called Ever After, and I'm knitting the Fork in the Road socks by Lara Neal, which is again a free pattern on Ravelry. And that's as far as I've got so far with the second sock. But first, oh, and it's in my Star Knits Exploding TARDIS bag, which I love dearly. The first sock has not had the ends woven in, but you'll forgive me for that, will you? The first sock's done. I knitted this while we were on holiday. We went up to Yorkshire last week and we had a gorgeous time. It was really, really nice. We stayed in wooden lodges. It was us and my
best friend from university who is godmother to my kids. Her and her family were up there, and we all had neighbouring lodges. And it was really nice because the kids could all be in and out of all the lodges all day, and went on day trips. I went to see the Beamish Open Air Museum, which is sort of museum of it's like a living history museum, so you can go and see inside shops, and we had a picture taken, which I've completely forgotten. If I remember, I'll take a picture of the picture and I'll put it in, because it was ever so much fun. We all dressed up in costume and had a picture done. And we went to Goathland, which it's the second time I've been, and if you watch the Bakery Bears podcast, you'll have seen them go to Goathland a couple of weeks back. They were sort of playing tag across the country. It was really funny because they went to Goathland on the steam train a couple of weeks ago, and then we went the following week, and then last week we went to Hardwick Hall, and they've been this week, so we're just missing each other by a few days each time. But yeah, the steam train was brilliant. The kids all loved it, and they were really thrilled that we were riding on the same piece of track that you see in the Philosopher's Stone when you see the train going along. So they were really excited by that. Where else did we go? Oh, we went to Betty's, as recommended by Dan from the Bakery Bears, Obi-Wan Knitter. We went to Betty's for tea and cake, which was lovely. Again, everybody really enjoyed that. And we went to Benningborough Hall outside York on the way home, which this gorgeous old stately home, and you could go all over the inside of it. It was partnered with the National Gallery, so there were loads of portraits up there that I'm not really much of a person for looking at pictures of things, but they had interactive things for the kids, so they could put a cape on and they could sort of pose themselves in a mirror, and they could take a digital picture of themselves as if they were in a portrait, and it was all really good fun. So we just love all those old stately home places, so we try and get to a few every year. Anyway, I was telling you about this, so this is I'm holding the end I haven't woven in at the back. This is my finished fork in the road sock. I do have to fill in this little hole here, and there's a matching one on the other side. I'm not entirely convinced that this is going to be my go-to. For one thing, it's only a single layer heel, as opposed to when you do your heel flap and gusset, it's a bit reinforced, isn't it? My camera turned off. That's so rude. As I was saying, I don't like that there's a hole that you have to fill in on the edge here, on the edge of the heel. I didn't like the provisional cast on and then the pickup for doing the heel, and then you picked up to do the foot. It's a free pattern, I'm not giving anything away that's paid for. And the heel's just maybe a little bit big for my foot, I'm not sure. I tried it on but very quickly, but just looking at it on my sock blocker, which is custom made for me, it looks as if the heel might be a bit saggy. Nobody wants a saggy heel. So I'll see. It'll be a nice pair of socks anyway. It just might not end up being my go-to pattern, and I do still have to try a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I've got the pattern, somebody gifted it to me. I just haven't got around to knitting it yet. Anyway, moving on with haste to finished objects. Skew socks. There was a picture at the beginning. Knitted in my cuddly owl sock base, which is merino nylon, in the turquoise obsidian colourway, and I'll insert a picture because they're my husband's socks and I haven't got them. He really likes them. They were supposed to be for me. I inadvertently knitted them a ½ inch too long, and all of a sudden they're the right length for him. So they're now his socks, and he's very happy with them, so I'm quite glad that I knitted them a little bit too long. I have got 2 finished spins to show you. Where's that one? The first one I finished was some Hello Yarn fibre, Beelzebubs and Monsters, which I also got in a fibre share package. And it's a Polworth, and it is just so bouncy and gorgeous. I got 469 yards of a 2-ply. I reckon it's probably sportish, which seems to be my default, unless I'm trying desperately hard. Sportish does seem to be what I end up at. I think that's got to be a shawl, hasn't it? It's just so next to the skin, soft and gorgeous. It's going to have to be a shawl, or a cowl, or hat and mittens. So many choices, so little knitting time. But yeah, I was really pleased with this. So yeah, and look at the colours as well. Do you know, I don't think I would have chosen this colourway for me, but now I've got it, I love it. And I think that probably shows a lack of imagination on my part. But yeah. The other finished spin is some Carino, which I bought from John Arbon, I think at Wonderwall or at the mill sale, I can't remember. But it was to try it out, just to see how it took the dye and how it spun up, before I decided whether I wanted to buy it for the shop. And I quite like it. Now, it's not as bouncy as the Polworth, but I did only give it a very quick soaking when we were on holiday, and a thwacking, and hung it up on the balcony. So with a better soaking and all of that, it might even bounce up a little bit more. But I have 353 yards M-ply. Now I know it doesn't look M-plied, it looks, because it's all barber poled and stuff, but that's because the dye technique I used had very quick colour changes, plus I split it all down the length of the fibre and spun just very thin sections up, so the colour changes were all very fast. But I really, really like it. I really like the effect that it's given, because I much prefer to M-ply over 2-ply, because you get to use every last scrap up, as opposed to when you got the 2 bobbins and they're always a little bit off. But I like the barber pole effect, and because sometimes there are so many colours all blending together, I think it's going to look really, really interesting in a knitted fabric. Oh, wind's wobbling me. Grab my bag. And my hair. Oh my days. Wild woman of the West, or what? So yeah, that was my Carino. As I said, 353 yards M-ply, so that's enough for a shawlette. Something like that. But I think I might just sit and think about that for a while, because I do have enough knitting plans to keep me going for a little while. And I've been asked today to do a bit of a test knit as well. So that'll be, I'd imagine, in the next month or 2. So yeah, I need to make more hours in the day, or possibly learn to knit with my toes. I did crochet with my toes once. We were having a thing on the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup on Ravelry, a discussion about whether we could craft simultaneously with our hands and our feet. And I thought, well, I wouldn't be able to knit, but maybe I could crochet, and I did manage to do a few stitches of crochet with my toes. Just thought I'd share that with you, another skill, you know, don't knock it. So, stash. Well, I've already done a teeny bit of stash, but there was a lot, so I thought I'd better split it up, and I'm going to respectfully go fast through it, because there's so much to show you. First off, do you remember last time I mentioned I was doing a podcaster swap with Tanya from the Knitting Spring podcast? Oh, don't move, stay there, don't leave me. This wind is picking up a bit, we'll press on. Just keep going. Keep calm and carry on podcasting. And have a sip of water. Keep hydrated. And keep podcasting. I'm getting a new fridge delivered soon. And it's got one of those water cooler things in the door, so you can press and get cold water straight out of the fridge. It's going to be amazing. I reckon I'm going to be so much better hydrated. So, how I haven't opened these is testament to how much I love you all and how much I wanted to share this with you before I did. I have Japanese candy and I have organic pomegranate hard candies. I love pomegranate. And I haven't opened them. There's a whole load of loose candies at the bottom as well, but I'm not going to show you because that would be silly. I've got a box of Merchant and Mills bulb pins, which are going to be really useful for pinning shawls and things. I have some potato chip chocolate, which I might have to break into tonight now that I've showed it to you. And she sent me two lovely little notepads, which are perfect size for popping in a handbag or a knitting bag or something. And a pen, which I unwrapped and then I rewrapped. Sorry for the crinkling. But it's so pretty. Let me show you. Look. It's a poppy. It's so pretty. It reminds me, have you seen the poppies at the Tower display? I mean, British people, you can't really have missed it. But it reminds me of those poppies that they were selling last year. So sweet. So that's gorgeous, thank you. And then, as well as the sweeties and the pen and the notebooks, she sent me a little Jimmy Bean's wool bag, and inside are minis. So many gorgeous, let's see if I can just hold them all, minis. Look, 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 look. Let's see what I've got. Miss Babs. Oh, never had any Miss Babs. That's Miss Babs as well. Used it a cozy, and she's told me what she's used them all for as well. Oh, 3 Miss Babs. Then there's a Knit Picks, Cannon Hand Dies, Sophie's Toes. Oh, I love those colours. Look at those colours. Love that. I think I've got something similar to that. Not mine, I mean something I've bought. And then there's, oh, I like that one as well, Sophie's Toes again. And Wool and Vine. Oh, I've never had any Wool and Vine. Exciting. All these new things. And a unicorn tail, look. And it's not the colour that I've got. So I mean that's even perfecter. Perfecter? More perfect. So thank you so much. That's such a generous package. Such a lovely person sending me all these gorgeous yarns. And I don't think the Knit Picks, I've had some Knit Picks but not that one. But that's the only one I've tried. I haven't had any of the others, so that's just brilliant. That's fantastic. Oh, it's starting to get a bit chilly now. If I go in, I'll lose momentum and Erin will come and it'll just all be... Anyway, moving on. Next stash is my fibre share swap. And this, look at this box, is not a small amount of stuff. Again, I don't know how I managed to keep it in the box. This is candy. Let me just rattle through. I've got old-fashioned candy buttons, which are intriguing. Pop Rocks. I have had those before, and I know that the kids like them. Razzles, I've heard of, haven't tried. More Pop Rocks. Big League Chew bubblegum. Curveball cotton candy flavoured. Artificially flavoured. You never would have guessed, would you? And then Magic Colours bubblegum crayons. Yeah, my kids have been eyeing these up. I might share a little bit. And I had a really cute little sweater tape measure. You pull the sleeve out and it does the thing, and then there's a button on the back to... But then we get to the good stuff. Look. Skein nets. 10 metre skein nets from Koigu. And look, there's a whole bundle, and they are all going to be, hopefully there'll be enough to go in and make a square each, but if not, I'll just sort of do a row where I use one and then go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the, and keep going, go through more, because they're all complementary colours, they all look gorgeous together, so I think that would be a brilliant idea. So nice. And then I have Pigeon Roof Studios fibre 50, 25, 25 merino bamboo and silk. That's going to be gorgeous to spin. It's going to, I reckon I can get a really fine spin of that. So that's going to be really fun. And finally I have a skein of hedgehog fibres, and it is Hedgehog Sock Medusa colourway. Oh, it's such a perfect name. Look at the greens and the blues, and there's a bit of indigo in there. Oh, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Perfect. So many gorgeous things. I am such a lucky bunny, like you wouldn't believe. So all that's left to talk about now is sort of endy bits, the wrapping up business type things, where I generally tend to go on far longer than I think I will, because really it's just a list of things to tell you about, but then I waffle as well, and yeah, Anyway, I wanted to remind you about the Socks and Shawls Oh My cow, which is running in my Ravelry group at the moment. If you would like to take part, please come and join us over there. It's a lovely group of people. I have been woefully neglecting my group recently, and it is an August resolution to get back in and chat some more. So perhaps while this podcast is uploading, I'm usually stuck, not able to do very much while I'm waiting for it to upload, so maybe I'll manage to find some time and get on Ravelry then. So that could be nice, and catch up on what everybody's doing. I know that there are loads of finished projects over there. So that's going until the end of August, and I don't have, where is it? I haven't decided on all of the prizes for the cow yet, but I have put a couple of things together, and I thought I'd show you, just as a little incentive. So, there is a bizarre little, knitted by me, orange pumpkin bag, which is the first prize, which, not first prize as in, hurrah, you've won it all, this is part of it. There's a little orange thing which you can do with what you will. I'll probably fill it with sweets before it gets sent off. More excitingly, I hope, there is a sock-sized project bag in really cute camping material, and it's a drawstring, so it'll do all of that, and it's got a catch and everything. So that's just the size that I like to put a single sock in if I'm working in it, and chuck it in a bag if I'm going out for the day. And I have, from a local maker, they're called Nature's Little Helpers, it's a soothing honey and beeswax gentle balm. I was thinking, for when you get those dry hands, sometimes you get dry hands when you've been knitting too much or spinning too much, and there's nothing worse than snaggy hands when you're trying to deal with light fibres. So I'm putting one of those in, and there will be more prizes, I just haven't thought of them yet. But I thought I'd show you what I'd already got. Oh no, there is another one. So also from another maker. I used to go and do a craft market every Saturday, Roath Craft Market in the Macintosh Sports and Social Club on Capock Street in Roath. And I gave it up because you didn't get that many knitters in there, so it wasn't really my target market. But there are some gorgeous, gorgeous makers in there. And one of them, Pam, makes lovely handmade cards, and so I got one of those to put in the package for you, because I thought, well, it's perfect. And it is blank inside for your own message, so this will be going in the prize package as well. The beeswax hand balm is also from Roath Market, and they sell their honey, and they sell hand balms and lip balms and soaps and all sorts of yummy things like that. So yeah, it's nice to support local makers, isn't it, when you can, when you get a chance. So I'll put them back in their Ziploc bag to keep them all together and keep them away from mischievous little fingers. I'm getting into a swing of it now. Everything I've done is going this side of me, and everything that's left is this side of me. And there's only one thing left. Oh no, two. Oh, I had more stash. Never mind, I'll show you when I knit it. It'll be fine. My future plans. Tomorrow I'm going to go over to the Toft Alpaca Stud in Warwickshire. It's their 10th anniversary this month, and they are having an open weekend. And due to some business which we transacted recently, I was offered the chance to have a set of free tickets for me and the family. So we're all going, and Zoe and her mum and her daughter are going as well. So it's going to be really lovely. We're going to walk alpacas, and we're going to do alpaca-y things, and I am going to get one of those woolly mammoth kits. It will be mine. Remember from the photos at the beginning? If not, just go back to the beginning, look at the photos. There's a picture of a gorgeous woolly mammoth. I'm going to have to get my crochet hooks out and take it slowly so I don't kill my hands. But woolly mammoth for me. Plus, they have a discount code. Oh, botheration. I think it's TOFT10. TOFT10. And it's you can use it online, or if you're going, you can use it there. But I was just thinking you could use it online this weekend and get 10% off anything on their online shop to celebrate them being 10. So I'll double check that code and I'll put it in down here like the other code. And yeah, treat yourself. Awesome. The next thing that I'm going to be going to is the Great London Yarn Crawl on the 10th of September. I'm going with Zoe and Ellie, who is Tuthing Bryn, and she also dyes yarn, but she's taking some time off because she has just had the most gorgeous baby boy. So, and I know he's a very keen watcher. So, hello William! Hi! Hiya! He'll be laughing now. Anyway, we are all three, and William, 4, and Ellie's mum, 5, 4.5, going on the London Yarn Crawl. And it's going to be loads of fun. It's just going to be fun, and there's going to be an after party, and I'm going to be sending off some stuff to put in the goodie bags, so I'm going to be involved in that as well. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. After that, I'm going to be exhibiting at the West Wales Wool Show in Narberth in Pembrokeshire on the 8th of October, so if you're in the area, please come and say hello. Then in November, the 10th to the 13th, I'm going to be attending the Geeky Puffin Knit Palooza knitting retreat. And I can't wait for that. And I will be a vendor at their market on Saturday the 12th of November, which runs from 1:30 until 5. It's a very small entrance fee, or I believe if you knit or crochet something for charity, you can give that instead of an entrance fee, which I think is a brilliant idea. And that's at the Mercure Bush Hotel in Farnham, which is about 50 miles out of London, but you can get to Farnham on a direct train from London Waterloo, so it's dead easy to get to if you're coming from London. And finally, apologies for all the interruptions, it's my tablet's playing silly whatsits. Kept on telling me that I'd run out of recording time, so I had to start recording all over again. And finally, I'm running a giveaway on Instagram because I hit 1,500 followers. You guys, if you're following me, are awesome, and if you're not following me, go and follow me and have a go at this giveaway because it's quite good. I like the prize, if I say so myself. It's a good set of goodies. I'll show you in a minute. Since launching it, I'm up to 1,700 and odd followers, which is just crazy. I'll be doing my 2,000 follower giveaway before you know it. So that's running until Sunday, which is the 7th of August at midnight, or you know, until I get up the following morning, but officially midnight on Sunday. And if you win, you will receive all of the following. You will get wrong side. A box bottom project bag, wedge bag, a skein of 100% superwash blue face Leicester in my colourway Phoenix Flame, a skein of Sparkle Owl, and I haven't labelled that with a name, but I believe it's night swimming, a set of jingly jangly stitch markers, a set of Dark Side of the Rainbow mini skeins. Oh, it's getting so dark, it's getting dark, it's because I'm in the shade, I'm terribly sorry. And two, not one, two progress keepers. So you have one little white butterfly, which will show up nicely against pretty much anything that you're going to knit. And I put this one in because Zoe loved it and insisted on buying herself one. She wouldn't let me give it to her, which was really cross-making, but yeah. It's a little globe and it's got little colourful beads in it. So I thought I'll throw them in with a giveaway. I think you'll agree that that is all in quite a nice prize. I'd be quite pleased if that sort of thing landed through my door. Of course I don't want this to land through my door because it means that it's been returned. But you know what I mean. I'd be quite pleased to win this. So, happy days. And I will do a random number generator draw on Monday and announce it shortly thereafter on Instagram. So there's not really very much that you have to do. You need to be a follower, which I think is fair enough, and you need to not have just a giveaway account. You need to be a real person, and you need to tag 5 of your friends, or for extra entries you can repost the image and share it with your followers, and you can make a purchase in my shop. Of course, I would love it if you did that. But yeah, in this coming month, shop plans are, I've just had an update with all the new spindle bags that I had left coming back from Yarningham, and they're really nice. They're padded. I delved into quilting for the first time and learned how to do machine quilting, so that was fun. Then I've also got, what have I got coming up? I'm going to be doing some sewing, so there'll be project bags coming up later in the month. I've got yarn to photograph and list. I've got some double knit, not a lot of it left because I dyed it for Wonderwool and then didn't get around to listing it with not being very well. Didn't get around to listing it before Yarningham, and I decided just to take it all to Yarningham, and it sold quite well, so there's not an awful lot left, but what I've got I'll put up in the shop. I'd love to see what you think of it. And then I've got my normal sock weight yarns. I've got maybe 15 or 20 colourways waiting to go up, and I've got about 10 new colourways on various fibre, I think mostly Polworth, which will be going up in the shop hopefully sometime this month. And I've got oodles and bundles of stitch markers to list, so my shop hopefully by the end of August should be nice and full. And I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say thank you to Cece and Dammy on the Geeky Girls Knit podcast for saying nice things about my project bags. I wanted to say thank you to Dawn on the Wolf Farms podcast for saying nice things about my yarn. And also to thank you to Zena and who else was I going to say thank you to? Well, Zena from the Little Yellow Uke podcast, who we met at Yarningham. She said nice things about my fibre, which was nice. Yeah, if I've forgotten you, thank you very much. And I'll try and remember for next time. Thank you for all the kind comments that people have been putting on my blog posts, on my videos. If you like this podcast, I'd be thrilled to bits if you'd hit the thumbs up button and like it, and if you would subscribe. I'm thinking when I get to 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel, I'll have a little giveaway over here as well. So it's just giveaway central over here at the moment. There's just stuff flying out. It's brilliant. Now I need to go and make tea for my children because they're going to start chewing at furniture if I don't feed them soon, and get all this stuff inside because I'm starting to get really cold. So I will hope to talk to you very soon, and I'll be able to tell you all about my trip to Toft Alpaca and meeting alpacas and getting to walk them and all these lovely things. Anyway, if I don't see you for the rest of the summer, because we know my track record, have a lovely rest of the summer, and I will speak to you at some point soon. Oh, I've remembered Sarah from Sarah's Texture Crafts. Thank you very much for saying nice things about me. She's starting a new enterprise called Yarn Sampler. So go and find her on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all those sorts of places. And you will be... she will introduce you to lots of indie dyers who you haven't heard of before. So I'm very excited to be one of the first yarn dyers that she samples and comments upon thereafter. So yeah, as I said on my Facebook post, I'm a little bit nervous about it, but it's exciting all the same. So thank you very much for choosing me, Sarah, and good luck with that new venture. And with that, happy crafting, have a lovely rest of your August, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!